And welcome everyone to our 14-minute webinar series. My name is Peter Whaley. I'm joined by Dean, and today's session in the 14-minute webinar series is about customizing dashboards. So the way our 14-minute webinar series works is we look for either key problems or we look for key opportunities. And today's session is about customizing the Snapshot dashboards. If you see value, you can trial Snapshot, don't forget that. And this is a listen-only webinar. If you would like to converse with us, just use the chat box. And the session is recorded by Dean on the other side as well. Now, we've gone through exactly what Snapshot is in our previous webinars. So have a look at our YouTube website. And today's session is all about doing the customization of the Snapshot dashboards. Just a reminder of the key problems we've solved is that Snapshot really is a very easy to implement BI tool, and the average business intelligence tool as well. It's just simply not that easy to implement. And once you've implemented the average BI tool, to get to the information, it's pretty hard. But with Snapshot, we'll show you how you can filter and view the information, and we've already shown you that. Today's session is really showing you how easy it is to customize one of the existing dashboards that come with Snapshot, and Dean will take us through as well on that as well. So I won't go through on some of the reminders of the key problems that, again, as I mentioned, was in a previous webinar. So let's move straight on to Dean Gornall. Dean, switch across to Snapshot, and I'll just put it into context where we are. So when you download Snapshot from the Snapshot BI website, Snapshot goes through your accounting data and produces a batch of dashboards. That's what you're looking at the moment underneath the menu item called Community Dashboards. So we're not going to talk about those dashboards. We're going to show you how easy it is to customize it. Dean, over to you.
Thank you, Peter. Okay, I'm going to take you through now customizing either a community dashboard or an existing custom dashboard. It's pretty as simple as finding the dashboard you would like to make some changes to, clicking on it and highlighting. At the top of the screen, you click Copy Dashboard. It'll pop up notifying you that the copy has been successful. You click across to your custom dashboards to the category, and you can see here as an example, there is the Copy Dashboard. From there, we will take the dashboard and we'll edit it. And it will open up the dashboard editing tool, which has just come up on my screen now. Okay, so from this tool, I'm just going to give you a bit of a quick explanation of the different components and how it comes together. To start off, you'll see here at the top left-hand side, we have what is called a data source and a query. This is either the view, table, or store procedure in your accounting system that we have linked to this dashboard to pull the information into Snapshot. You'll see below here is a list of all the fields or columns that is in either that table, view, or store procedure that we can use in the dashboard. On the right-hand side here in the main area, you'll see the different components that we're using inside the dashboard. For example, a pie chart, a graph, cards, or a grid. Now, you'll see by me clicking on each of the different components that you can see here in the middle under data items, these are all the fields that we've dragged and dropped to populate the graph. If I click over here to an item sales, for example, here are all the fields that we have dragged and dropped onto the data items to populate the grid. So these are the main components of the dashboard.
So Dean, if obviously the average customer or average partner looking at this, it may seem pretty overwhelming. You have the data source on the left, you have the data items, and you have the Snapshot dashboard designer. But what if I just wanted to take one of the existing dashboards that's already been given to me, and I'd just like to change a few things in that dashboard? Show us how you can do that.
Sure, Pete. So it's pretty simple. If I'm in this dashboard as an example and I do not wish to see my item group sales, it's pretty simple. Click on it, right click, and hit delete. It's now removed that component. I may not want to see my range filter at the bottom. Click on it to highlight, right click, delete. It's now removed. If I wish to move that component around, as an example over here, I've got my state sales. So I click on it, highlight it, click, drag, and now I can drop this field wherever I wish on the dashboard. I can then resize it. And that is just moving around the component. If you wish, you can also convert a component. So over here, you can see I've got my sales by date, which is a graph. I can right click on it and I can simply convert it to a pie if I wish. So those are a couple of ways of easily changing or editing a dashboard.
So Dean, once you've done that, you can save that dashboard and then that gets run as is, correct?
Yes, sure is, Pete. So if I do that, I can come over here, click on the Save button. Okay, when I close it, I can now give it a new name. And when I hit OK, you'll see here under my list, I have now got my dashboard. If I come through and I double click it, I've got my date parameters that pop up, hit OK, and you'll see over here I have that dashboard which I have then altered.
Excellent. Obviously, when you see dollars down there, everybody, Snapshot takes the currency from the current desktop or server that you're on. So it would be currencies such as euros or rands or New Zealand dollars, whatever it is. Okay, Dean, so that's a fairly quick explanation of how you can delete stuff from the dashboard and save it, bearing in mind again that we've done the heavy lifting for you. What about inserting new information into a dashboard? So, for example, you might want to insert different, pie charts, or you might want to insert grids, or you might want to insert even different fields.
Sure, Pete. Okay, so an example here in this dashboard is we may want to insert to see our sales by warehouse, and within that warehouse we want to see it by the product group, but we also want to see it over the years and months. So what I'll do is here, we'll look through all the different components of the dashboard at the top here from pivot, grid, chart, pie. I feel a pivot table would probably work best for this, so you just click on the component and you'll see it'll just drop into your dashboard. I'll resize it to however I want. I now come over here to the list of fields available to me, and I'll start populating my data items. I'll take the value, drag, drop it into the value section, and you'll see straight away now it's summed up a total sales value. I will now take my warehouse name, drag and drop that into the rows, and you will see now my sales by warehouse. I can now take my item group, drag and drop that under warehouse, and you'll see now I can expand each warehouse, which shows me the group under the warehouse. I can now do the same thing for my columns to see it by date. So I take my date, drop into columns. It's quite nice. It automatically defaults to a year. I can take the date again, drop it under there, and change it from a year to a month. So now I have a pivot table which shows me sales by state with a drop down to the item group with columns by year, expand that, and it shows it to me by month. So that is quite a simple example of how to add a component to a dashboard with new fields.
That's awesome. Dean, I know we didn't discuss this when we discussed the webinar, but those dashboard items that you have, can you link the dashboard items between each other? In other words, if you click on a customer, then it'll drill down in another section of the dashboard item. You can do that as well, correct?
Sure, you sure can, Pete. If you just go into any of these dashboard components and we go up over here to our data for each of the components, if you invoke the multiple master filter, that will then do a drill down across the dashboard. So as an example, I click on this customer over here and the whole dashboard is now filtered to that customer.
Excellent. Okay, Dean, so again, we are limited by time in these 14-minute webinar series. Let's talk about being able to connect information from other companies. So if someone has a few companies in the group, how do they then work with Snapshot? And the second question is, what if you have a CRM system that's in, on another server or perhaps with another vendor? How would you connect that information?
Sure, Pete. Okay, so that's a good question and a good example. So over here, we've pretty much got a couple different data sources that we can plug into. Right now, Snapshot is plugged into our default accounting system, which we're looking at now, which we're putting the information from. Our second option is we can also link and get information directly from an Excel spreadsheet. And then we can, just like you say, we can then pull information from a different payroll system, CRM, point of sale, logistics, any other system we can pull through into Snapshot. So automatically under our data source here, if I had to pretend to add a new data source, I can either add it from an Excel worksheet, which is just what we would use to bring the information from Excel, or if we select database, this will be pulling the information from an accounting system linked to Snapshot. And if it's another system which is completely independent of your accounting system, such as a point of sale system, CRM system, we will use what's called our custom connection string. So what I'll do is I'll quickly show you how the custom connection string comes together. So outside of our dashboard, under our settings tab, we can set up custom connection strings to different databases. So if I go into the custom connection strings and I edit it over here, you'll see Snapshot can connect to a multitude of different providers. So if your database is sitting on Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL Server, Access, XML, Firebird, Pervasive, you'll see a whole bunch of different providers. If your database is any one of those, we can then bring it into the same database or into the same dashboard. It's just a matter of copying and pasting the example of the string over here and pasting it into the connection string above, and it's replacing the relevant data. So server name, the username, the password, the database name, and that now creates our link into that specific database. And then it's back to where I showed you over here. If we edit that dashboard, under the data source is over here, we will be connecting it in using here our custom connection string. So that's how we can pull in information from multiple different data sources into one dashboard, Pete.
Excellent, Dean. Okay, great. So moving back to the snapshot itself, the main menu for me, Dean, let's just quickly do a quick summary there as well. So what we've just briefly done in a few minutes there is remembering that when you connect Snapshot to your business system, it produces a batch of 20 to 40 dashboards depending on your vendor. That means that the heavy lifting is done. You can just take those dashboards and further customize it from there. So you can either do it yourself with a bit of training as a customer, or you use one of our authorized partners. And because that heavy lifting has been done for you, it generally brings down the total cost of dashboarding and report writing. One other aspect that's important to point out is you can pretty much dashboard anything. So of course you've got those community dashboards, but you can bring dashboards in from other sources. And what we didn't show you here today is the ability to use our web dashboards module and be able to access dashboards from any browser or from any device. So just a reminder, Snapshot, there's no upfront cost. You can cancel anytime, and there is transparent pricing on our website as well. Dean, while you were just going through a quick overview there, I did see a few questions, and we're still on time with our 14-minute webinar, so I'll just quickly go through these 4 questions. We'll probably only have time for 2 before we even take action. Number 1 was exactly that. A customer wanted to know from Dublin is what is the pricing. The pricing is on the Snapshot BI website. Dean, I wouldn't mind you popping across to that quickly if you can open that up. And the reason is I can answer the second question as well. So if you head across to snapshotbi.com and you head to our pricing page, you'll be able to see which country, and you'll be able to choose which vendor, and Dean is going there now. So under product overview, head across to pricing and then choose your country and choose your business system, and it comes up with the pricing. Bearing in mind there is no upfront cost for Snapshot and you can cancel anytime. So that's one question. The other question is from Darby in Cape Town. It looks pretty easy to customize, but it always looks easy on a webinar. How truly easy is to customize a dashboard? Dean, just pop back to the Snapshot website. I'll just give you an idea how we've helped customers with regards to this, everyone, is underneath customers. have a look at that menu underneath customer training, and you will see the getting started training. So we provided two getting started manuals for you. There's the left-hand one, the getting started manual, which just gives you a very good idea of Snapshot. And the right-hand manual is the customizing dashboard. On top of that, we have a couple of videos underneath the customer video section as well, and that'll help you. And of course, you have the ability to get support as well. So it is fairly easy. Of course, you'll have to put in the work. The alternative, of course, is to use your partner. They do it every day. It's up to you. So we're coming to the end of our 14-minute webinar. May I just suggest, if this looks good to you, why don't you trial Snapshot? There's a few ways you can take action. Is go across to our website where we've just shown you there, and download, get your partner to connect, and include support. Alternatively, if you've just got questions, just send us an email or ask your partner. And then if you're happy with Snapshot, remember that you have nothing more to do except subscribe to the monthly fee. And that is that, Dean. I know these are always quick sessions, but they're really there just to give customers an overview. So we are at 13.5 minutes. That's perfect. Don't forget to look out for our upcoming webinars on Data Automator and Inventory Replenishment. Both of those tools will automate data into and out of the accounting system, and we look forward to your attendance there. From myself, Peter Whaley, I'm in Hong Kong today, and from Dean Gornall in Brisbane, thank you for attending the 14-minute webinar series. Goodbye for now.